other not good news story that I feel compelled to cover is that it from Utah.
Yes.
And a lovely, lovely, beautiful young girl, 10 years old, on the autism spectrum, has taken her own life. And I can't even imagine what her mother is going through. But to make this story that much harder, this poor child was being terribly bullied at school.
Yes.
Racially, and I believe that there was disability harassment
Yes.
involved. That mom says she reached out to the school and to the teacher, and that help was not forthcoming. There is I don't know if you've got it there, Traven, but there is a picture of this beautiful baby girl.
Izzy
And
is her name. Her name is Izzy. Isabella Izzy was her name. Kishenor.
And she had a mole on her
Yes.
forehead, and she had beautiful full eyebrows that one day a modeling agent was going to go, "Ooh, don't I love those?" But the kids made fun of her. Mom is saying that the N word was used, and that there were other things, and that recently she had come to mom and asked for her to shave her eyebrows and to have the mole removed from her forehead. And I think it's so devastating. It's like, I don't know about the rest of you, but I want to look away. It's just when a 10-year-old takes their own life, I go, oh, I don't want to, I don't want to go there. I don't want to do that. But I think we all need to go there for a minute, because chances are that everyone who's watching who has a kid on the autism spectrum is being bullied. Statistically, that would pretty much bear out, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's that picture of that beautiful baby and her beautiful mom, who my heart bleeds for her. Nancy, I know that both, I don't want to speak for you, but Wyatt was bullied, yes?
Yes, he's been bullied.
And my son was certainly bullied.
Yeah.
And I think that people think that our kids don't notice or aren't aware, and that's BS. Our kids know when they're being bullied. They get it. They get it when they're not being included, and they get it when people make fun of them and when they're not a part of the story. We can't allow it to happen. And this is not mom's fault. Mom was doing everything that she felt that she could to talk to the school. But I always think back to, Dr. Jonathan Tarbox used to say to us about elopement. What would you do if your kid could look you in the face and say, the first time you turn around, I'm going to walk out of the house and you may never see me again? Excuse me. If your child could say that to you, what action would you take? And I think it's the same thing here. That if our children had the ability to say to us, bullying makes me want to hurt myself and not be here anymore, what would we do? And then let's do that. Let's do that. Let's take it really seriously when our kids are being bullied. And if that means that you have to take them out of school, take them out of school. It's hard.
We have some parents writing in. Asia said,
Yeah.
this is why my daughter has not been in school since the third week of class due to assault and bullying, and teachers and admin not doing anything about it. I'm not risking that. Christine said, this is why my son is not in public school. And Yadira said, agree, my daughter was bullied. School did nothing. So,
Yeah.
we have parents who are all relating to this experience.
And I love what Christina says about, that there's an element here about you need to let your child know that you're fighting for them, that their parents are working hard for them. Please allow your child to see you saying to someone, this is not acceptable, that this is not okay. And I know that there are reasons why it's hard to take your child out of school, but we've had Bonnie Yates on before talking about reasons why you can take your child out of school. And yes, you do have to give them 10 days written notice, 10 days, business days written notice that you're taking your child out of school. But the fact of the matter is that you can give them notice saying, I am removing my child from school in 10 days because I am afraid for their safety. I've reported bullying. You're not doing anything about it. and I'm happy to meet with you. And then your child can be sick for the next 10 days. Just don't tell them that I said that. And don't and be sly about it, right? So, you're because children catch a cold, and you could so put in the notice, say your child's not in 10 days, you're pulling them out of school officially, but then tell them that your child has a sore throat or whatever, and out of an abundance of caution, you're going to keep them home. They're not going to challenge you on that. Yes, off the record, I didn't say that. No one has a recording of that. I didn't say that. I'm not a lawyer. You can't take my advice. Uh, but it is important that we acknowledge our children when they tell us that they're being bullied. It's also important, some of your kids don't have the ability to tell you that they're being bullied. But if we see a change in behavior at home, you should be looking to see, is it that? If you're hearing about a change of behavior at school, you should be looking to see, is that that? We have to be detectives here and stay on this. And Scott has said, I was bullied in school and never told anyone. And I'm sorry to hear that. It is important for all of us to tell when we're being bullied. But since we're talking about advocacy, Christina, let's talk about the kinds of things that you can do. The law is with you on this. It is not okay for your child to be racially bullied. It is not okay for your child to have what is called disability harassment. And those are the words that you need to use. Now, you can do that without a lawyer, or you can get an advocate to go with you. And let's make sure that we mention COPA, COPAA.org, is it, Traven? Can you put it up on the screen for everybody? And there's also copa.net. I think you get there either way. But that is a team of people that you'll have to vet them yourselves, because we can't speak to everyone in that organization. But it's a group. It's called the Council of Parent Attorneys and Advocates. So they are parents who've been through it, and advocates that have been through it, and it's all over the country. Um, so, and Yadira, I love that you brought up the question of PTSD. That when our kids are bullied, it is reasonable to think that they will have PTSD as a result of that. And we need to make sure that when we're talking to the school, we put them on the hook for treatment for that. If the child is being bullied, we don't just take them out. We have to deal with their feelings as a result from it. So I'm just reading you guys, your comments. Sujan says, my son is nonverbal, 4 years old. He starts crying without any control. What to do? I think, Sujan, we have to assume if someone is crying and crying that heavily, that there's something. And we're going to talk about sensory issues in a second. But if you don't know what this something is, you have to become a major detective. I would start by ruling out that it's something medical, because maybe he's in pain. We talk all the time about an ABC chart. Look at what's happening right before he starts crying. Check his clothes, check his body, see if he has a rash, see if he points to anywhere. I hope you're working with a ABA team who are helping to give him functional behavior, communication. Sometimes what they'll do is they'll show a picture, and they'll demonstrate on themselves, and they'll go, ow, and then they point to it and go, ow, ow, and start to cry, to say, I'm pointing to where it hurts. And they'll show a picture of your child and have him point, where does it hurt? Because we don't want them to be in pain. If we can rule out that it's not pain, if we can rule out that there's nothing medical, start keeping a chart of what happens that triggers the crying, so that we can start to understand, but something's going on, bless his heart. Now, sometimes when people are nonverbal, they cry to get what their needs met, because that's what they did as a baby. I cry and you give me, you change my diaper. I cry and you give me milk. I cry and you put a sweater on me, right? So, it might just be that is his only means of communication. But please be with an ABA team. Please get functional communication for your child going. But please take it seriously. Right, Nancy?
Right. It's very important. Don't ignore it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for watching Autism Live. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. See you next time. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now. To subscribe, click here. And if you'd like to check out some more of our videos, click here.